Disclaimer: this podcast sometimes covers topics that may be offensive to some people, such as suicide, mental health, drug and alcohol use, and more. You have been warned.
Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to your Strength of Southwest podcast. I'm your co-host, Molly Heydrich.
And I'm your other co-host, Blake Alley. And today we are visited by a very special guest.
The one and only Miss Kyra Tatge.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you for inviting me. This is so fun, and I love the topic today, and it hits home for me.
Do you want to tell us what it is?
The topic today is generosity.
Part 2.
Woo.
Yes. We thought it was such an important part of the wheel that we just had to continue it, and we thought we'd have Kyra come and talk to us about it.
So last week we did mention Kyra in our podcast a little bit because we were talking about people who we just think are just like so unapologetically themselves and very generous with like their just like vibes and their like time. And like the one thing that we said is like you always like put out positive vibes to everybody else, like no matter like what kind of mood you're in or like what's going on in your personal life. And like I can say that like I definitely appreciate it. It makes my day so much better.
That's so great. Yeah, I try to do that. I try to spread positivity because you never know what kind of day a person is having. And a little smile or like telling a joke, because for me, laughter always, that's my go-to. Like if I can make myself kind of look funny to make you smile, I'm going to do that because I love making people happier, because I know when I'm sad, I love it when my friends make me happy.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great. That's just great, you know? But I get a lot of people, they do want to have that mentality of I want to be kind of happy, I want to be that good person and put out those good vibes. But for a lot of people, it can be hard doing that. What are some like tips you would say help you in that way?
I think just when you stop focusing, I mean, it's always good to focus on yourself, like when you need it mentally, but sometimes you have to stop focusing on the me and start like focusing on the we, like us as a greater good, and just helping other people to, if they're having a bad day, then maybe help them out, ask them about it. Talking always helps me, and we all don't want to be sad, we all want to be happy, we all want to spread joy.
For sure.
Yeah. So
that's a great tip.
That's great. I love that.
That's great.
I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like we talked a lot about last time this idea of what generosity meant to us. And we talked about a lot about how people have this idea in their heads that generosity is like tied to money.
Yeah.
Right? And
like I know like especially for me, like my first thought is like generosity, money. Like donating to charity, like giving $10 to the homeless guy that you see on the corner. Like, but I guess one of the biggest things that we talked about last week was that generosity doesn't have to be like your money. It can be your time. Like
Absolutely,
it can be like your vibes, you know, like it can just be giving someone a smile when they need it, because like you said, you never know what other people are going through unless you ask them.
I totally agree with that. Because, like, the word donation, everybody thinks of money. I mean, that's kind of because they're like, hey, you can help someone out by giving them money. But there's so many other ways, like, that people can receive help, can donate their help, honestly, their time to help out other people, or just a smile, just anything that you can help out for someone else and not be for yourself, to just give a little bit of yourself, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. Like, where I'm at, I think your words are much more important than like anything else when you want to like inspire and improve people, you know?
Yeah.
Like your words and your actions are a lot more important than your thoughts, you know? Anyone can think about doing good, but I mean, and that's great, you know? It's important to want to do good, but having the motivation to get out there and do good is, you know, great. And that's kind of what generosity is.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that for some people it is really hard to just kind of be generous, because some people may feel like, well, I don't have a lot to give, you know, like I'm not a very positive person. I don't have money to give, even though that's not really like what generosity means to, I guess, us. I don't have very positive vibes. I don't have the energy to give someone a smile, but like at the end of the day, you know, like even just telling someone like your hair looks really great today. Mm-hmm. Like that person could have woken up today and been like, wow, I'm so insecure about my hair today. I hope nobody notices. Like, what if something happens? What if everybody doesn't like it? You know, like, again, it just all goes back to that one point of you never know what someone else is going through. And even just saying the smallest, like, positive thing can really make someo's day.
Yeah, like a sincere conversation.
Yes.
It means more than you know.
Yeah.
And I also, this is like a quote from Maya Angelou. She was like, people will forget how you look, like, or what you wear, but they won't forget how you make them feel.
Yes.
And I think that's really important because it's like you can give like money and stuff, and yes, that's super nice, but if you don't have that, then just make people feel good.
Yeah.
Because if you feel good, you'll be like, hey, I want to hang out with you. I want to, and it will just boost themselves and the people around them. And I think that makes it a happier world, a happier goal.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. That's just great. I love that. That's
just great. That's the default
reaction. But I think having people on, like guests on this podcast, is always great to me because we always get another perspective that me and Molly just can't provide, because everyone has their own personality. It is truly...
And everybody goes through their own experiences.
Yeah.
So, obviously, like, your experiences have shaped, like, you into the person you are, Kyra, and, like, same thing for you, Blake, and same thing for me. And it all gives us different outlooks on life. So, having a guest on this podcast with someone who does have different experiences than me and Blake and Jack can be really helpful just to kind of get like another view on something.
Yeah, and I love listening to your guys' podcast. Aww. And like the people change people from last week. I loved that.
Yeah.
And how
that
people
was me.
And everybody's been through different experiences, so everybody can help each other. Everybody can help to change for the better.
Yeah, for sure.
I think personally that generosity ties into every other aspect of
Definitely.
The wheel on the source of strength wheel. How do you, like, what are your opinions on that? What do you think about that?
I think I agree with you, because for healthy activities, like part of what makes I do theater and part of what makes that healthy for me is that it's the environment that I'm in, it's like we all spread generosity to each other. Like, you got the part, that's great. I'm so excited. Now I can't change anything now, so you're going to be the best part you can be. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's, because it is a competitive field, so it's hard to do that sometimes. But our environment, I love it. And I love all the people who it's like, it's all lifting each other up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that definitely also goes into just like the positive friends category. Mm-hmm. And I do think that generosity is one of the more overlooked parts of the wheel.
Yeah.
But I do also think that it's one of the most important because generosity falls into every other category. Yeah. You know, like
mental health.
Yeah.
Being generous to yourself is always important
yes.
when you need it. So I think it does really tie into
generosity. It ties into spirituality. Mm-hmm. It's going to tie into your mentors. Or mentors are being generous to you. Your family, they can be generous. Just all the aspects, really. Your health, all of that. And it's just talking about this generosity, I've found myself making changes in how I interact with people, and I've taken a step back and I've thought about how people see me, right? Mm-hmm. And is that how I want people to see me?
Yeah.
Can I make that view better? And the only way to do that is through my actions. I can say I want to be a better person, but through my actions and what I do in our school and at home and all these different things, that can improve me, and I can help improve the people around me, just by being a better person, and I think everyone can be a better person if they try.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, just going back to it, like for me, like the way just I kind of look at it is it all goes back to the people change people concept, you know? Like you have the ability to change someone else's life however you want to do it, whether that's in a positive or hopefully not negative way. But I do think that it's really important that people know that you have that power to change someone's life. And if you're really not careful, that it could come back to you in a really negative way.
Teenagers face so many problems because, just it's genetic with us. We're in this stage where we're emotional, and we're in this stage where we're faced with the future, The past is kind of behind us, and that's why we did a segment on the future, because it's this big thing to us. We have all of these, social media has such a big influence on our generation and the things we experience, and it's depression rates are rising,
The way we feel is so
and the way we
affected by
feel
that.
is so affected, and I feel like just doing this, being a member of Sources of Strength, has improved my mental health, and it's helped me notice the people around me that are having trouble, and it's helping me help them, to find a source for their problem, and I think I've said this before, but I truly believe that if everyone was more generous, the world would be a much better place. And I think here at Southwest, we can achieve that if we try.
And I think that social media, it's a tool. We can either use it for bad or we can use it for good. Like commenting on people's posts, like, "Oh, you look so cute." Oh, that's generous because you're giving something.
Yeah.
And what's it costing? Like 20 seconds, and that makes the other person feel good. Like, "Oh, good. I poured my heart out into this, and I'm being vulnerable and showing you guys this." And just having that positive feedback can really make someone's day.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I know that for me, like, when if I post on Instagram and, like, someone that I really don't know really well, like, comments on my post and is like, "You look so good, like, I love your hair, da-da-da-da, like, this is so cute," like, that makes me feel so good, and just, like, this person took time out of their day, even though, like, they're not really friends with me, to give me a compliment and to just make my day a little better.
Yeah.
For sure. And I do think a lot of people don't, like, see it that way. And it's just like, oh, it's just a comment. Like, that's just what everybody does. But, like, at the same time, like, for some people, like, that's a really big deal. Like, somebody...
You can never know what's going on in someone else's life.
Someone may be feeling, like, really insecure about their body image in that picture, how their hair looks, like, the people that they're with in the picture, how they're posed, what if my arm looks fat, like, all that stuff just kind of goes, like, through everybody's mind when you're making a post on social media.
All the human insecurities.
Yes, all of just, like, those, like you said, like, teenager things that we all go through and experience every day. Yeah. And for me especially, I love it when people comment on my Instagram pictures, not just, like, for validation or like whatever, but it's just like it just helps knowing that, like, yeah, these people love me.
Someone's thinking about you.
Yeah, someone's thinking about you. That's the word.
And I kind of want to talk about this idea of twisted happiness, this idea that material wealth and things like that are going to make you happy, because money and things and stuff, that's what we're obsessed with, that's what everyone wants. We want more, we want stuff, but material wealth in the long run is not going to make you a happier person.
Yeah.
Also, the obsession with trying to be happy, I mean, everyone wants to be happy, but if you're just going to obsess over it, you can't force it.
Yeah.
You have to rely on the people around you. You got to rely on your friends, your family, your healthy activities, your mentors, your spirituality, your mental health, your physical health, all those different things. And you gotta we all have to help each other in the pursuit of happiness.
Definitely. Because
go for it.
Because no one tries to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
No one is trying to be upset, trying to be rude, and that's how I look at it. No one's trying to, but maybe something happened that you don't know about. You can never know. So just try to lift that person up, even if, kill them with kindness, kind of,
Mm-hmm. So I think just to kind of wrap this all up, I think the point that we're trying to make here at the end of this is your life is in your hands. It's not in anybody else's hands. No one else can affect how you see yourself, nor should anybody else be able to affect how you see yourself. And it just really comes down to, do I want to go out and get happiness, or do I want to find it? Yeah.
I would like to give anyone who's listening to this podcast a challenge. Anyone who went to Aubrey Bend, or people who maybe didn't go to Aubrey Bend, you might know of the 37 days of kindness. 37 days of kindness. And I would like to challenge everyone listening to this to do the 37 days of kindness, because I did it, I've done it multiple times, and it just makes you feel like a better person. And it's this idea to just, it's not just the idea that, I'm going to challenge myself to be better for 37 days. That's the idea, but what it's supposed to be in the long run is this idea to be happier and to have a better influence on the community and things like that.
For sure. Mm-hmm. So go out and say one nice thing today, no matter who it's to or what it is. It'll make your life and their life so much better, I think, is what we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyra, for coming
Kyra,
on today.
So much.
Thank you guys so much.
You did
for
so
having
good.
Me.
Yes.
As always, guys, social medias, our Instagram is at @BBSW_strength. Our TikTok is the same thing. And our Twitter, which Jack and I run, and it's just a really fun time, is @SourcesSW. You should definitely go give it a follow. We post all of our podcast updates on there. Definitely such a fun time. So thanks for listening, guys. Remember to be kind and be generous this week, and we will see you next week.
Bye.